Hey everybody, welcome to the monthly market update with Murdock Manwaring Company Real Estate Group at Keller Williams Realty East Idaho. Thanks for joining us. We are your neighbors in the know, keeping you informed on what's going on in Southeast Idaho. And we are talking about the stats for May 2023. So you're probably seeing this here in June, but because we got to gather all the data and process, we talk about what happened in May, and let's dive into it. But you'll get a little bit of information that's current as well. Make sure to stick through, and we are going to talk about tax assessments. So if you've got your tax assessment that just came out, make sure to stick with us because we're going to throw that right in there here coming up. So what we are going to cover is the basic sections in front. We're going to do an overview of the stats year over year, month over month. Then we're going to do a couple of little snapshots. Then we'll talk about our current inventory, and then let's talk about what's going on specifically in Idaho Falls. All of the stats that we cover, except for the section on Idaho Falls, are our three counties: Bonneville, Bingham, and Jefferson counties. And we do single family homes. We don't include, of course, fourplexes and land and those things. So let's rock and roll. So how did May look good? Oh, and by the way, we got Jeremy Manwaring and Chad Murdock, and I'm Jessica Cardon. So Murdock Manwaring Company, we'd love to help you buy or sell your home. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm rolling through as fast as I can.
Yeah, that was fast.
That was throwing, by the way.
I mean, I don't think you took a breath in like 2 minutes. That was amazing.
That's kind of how I go.
Well, get into the meat of it, because we want to talk about some controversial things, and
I know.
And just read what the market's currently doing. So
yeah, let's get through this because the tax assessment's the hot topic right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, it looks like as of this month in May, year over year, we were down about 19% in closings. So May of last year versus May of this year, we did close 209, about a 19% decrease. And if you take a look at how we look over time, this is closed sales by month over time. You can watch that kind of trend line. What's really interesting on this line, if you go back and take a look, is that we usually trend up in the summer, but last summer, because of the interest rate change, we trended down. So we're hoping to watch for the trend this summer to come back up and start to see a little bit of that normalization and recovery. But that's super interesting to watch those trends over time. Here's how our breakdown of the closed sales went. So we had, oh, that's not quite right. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, that math is not adding up.
That math is shaky math. That's some shaky math. But here's what the price ranges did in closed sales. What I think is super interesting is always in Idaho Falls, the Southeast Idaho, we tend to have most of our sales under $500,000. That is really where the bulk of our closed sales come. And if you look at the average days on market, you'll see that is, not too terrible. But as you get up on that, on those prices, those days on market start to trend up and up and up. And you can see the larger ones, they don't have as much time, but there's only one. Only one of those were in there. So there's not a lot to look at on that trend.
It's about 161 homes sold under 500,000.
Thank you, Chad, for adding that math up. I believe maybe I calculated that and I counted how many sections were there rather than actually how many closed. That's what happens when you do this too late at night. Let's talk about average price per square foot. So this gives kind of an equalization when you're looking at whether it's a big home or a small home. And this takes into account everything on that closed. So everything that closed. So this doesn't necessarily reflect your price point, but this is the market as a whole. And it looks like we are down $23 per square foot versus 2022. So we closed
on sold, right, Jess?
So what was that?
This is on sold average price per square foot.
Sold. Thank you for that. Yep. Sold homes. The homes that we sold on average were price per square foot of $170, and last year was $193. I think we'll start to see that through the rest of the year. Will be really interesting to watch. Now let's talk about year to date. How do we look year to date over year to date? For 2023 versus 2022. So we had a 20% decrease in homes sold year to date. So if you looked at how we did, we're down about 20% and year to date, which is pretty consistent with the month over month the past couple of months. So pretty consistent. Here's our average. Have I got these out of order? That's kind of weird. So average price, Jeremy, let's talk about this.
You got it. So just for the month of May last year, we were seeing an average price of $436. Now we're at $410, which, like Jessica's saying, doesn't mean that your house is worth less. It just means the average overall in the market, the average price has decreased. And I think it's because of some of the upper end houses that we've slowed down and seen a decrease of the number of sales because of interest rates. But that is a 6% decrease overall on the average market price. The year to date, we're seeing, from 432 to 402, or a 7% decrease. And so we'll keep an eye on that and just make sure that, if there is a certain price point or a certain area of Southeast Idaho that's affected more, we want to bring that to your attention as well, because
And
we're not
Jeremy
controlling the
said-
market. We're just trying to read what's happening in the market.
Interesting.
All right,
fact,
so
the
this
last
is a
7
biggie.
months, the last 3
go
months
ahead.
have been 7% decrease. So we're pretty consistent.
Pretty consistent. It's good. So a lot of chatter right now about tax assessment. We have in Bonneville County, we have a new assessor. I haven't met him yet, but I think he's got a tough job, especially right now, as he's got new people in staff, and they're all coming in. And the first thing that happened was everyone got a new assessment, a new assessed value. And I say everybody loosely, but lots of people are talking about how much their valuation went up. And so let's talk about that for a couple minutes, because it doesn't necessarily mean that your tax amount went up. It just says this is how much we're going to base the value off of, and then we'll tell you what the levies are going to be against that value. So probably your taxes are going up. If your value went up and increased, they're going to tax you at the highest available levy for that new valuation. So if it went up significantly over the past 2 or 3 years, it is trending with the market, and they probably have a good argument that your house is worth more. And is it worth as much as they think it is? What's the process they go through? Well, they come up with the sold properties that compare best with your home, and in reality, that's all public information. And so whatever they're using, we want to know that information, because at times, they may be doing the big Zillow effect, which may not be that accurate, because what does the A in Zillow stand for? Isn't that what the saying is, Jessica?
That's right. That is the A in Zillow stands for accuracy, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Same as Subway with the getting what Chad's joke. So
Oh,
there
yeah,
is
that's a
no
good
A
one
in
too.
Zillow, because the accuracy may not be there. So what we want to be is your local expert on valuation, but know that coming next Monday, 1 week from today, because today is June 19th,
June 26th. That's a deadline.
June 26th is your deadline, and this form has to be filled out and submitted in order to talk and protest your value. They may be right, they may not be right, but this is what you have to do if you think you're right and they're not. And it talks all about the deadlines. If you wish to appeal before the Board of Equalization, if you're going to submit in writing evidence that before the second Monday of July of why you think your valuation is too high. Chad, what were you saying? Sometimes they'll just say denied, and that doesn't mean it's the end of the road. It's just kind of the initial denial, right? What do you do at that point?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big push right now that the county has. I can't even imagine how many protests they've received. And all you have to do is fill out this form, but then you now have 2 or 3 weeks until the second Monday of July to actually get your package in. And if you are arguing that your taxes are too high, that's not going to do anything on the protest. You have to have comparables. You have to be able to prove to them why you think your value is too high, and you have to be able to turn that in. And if you don't have any data or any proof that your value is too high, you're going to get that stamp that says denied. So they'll probably call you and be like, and what's your proof behind this, and but they're going to deny you. So you have to have your research.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jess.
And if people don't know, they're basing it off the entire year of 2022. And we hit the peak of the market at the beginning of 2022. The highest prices that we sold at, we've had a normalization, but just, that is based not on the current market value, but on the entire year of 2022.
Yeah. So we want to help if you're in a point where you need data from the market, you need specific tools that we have access to and resources. We would love to help you figure that out. So just call us. but that deadline is next week, so keep that in mind. Let's look at in the market. We talk about the original list price to the actual percentage that it sold at. Last year in May, we were over asking price on average. This year, we're 97.7%. So we are seeing a decrease in what people are asking to what they're actually able to get. Year to date, an even bigger decrease of almost 5%, where last year we were right at asking, but this year we're seeing some pushback really from buyers saying, yeah, you may want that, but I'm willing to pay you this. And so that compression is happening in the market, and we're seeing that battle between asking and actual close price. A leading indicator we keep an eye on all the time is how long are homes staying on the market before they go pending or closed. Last year in May, we were 26 days. This year, 59 days. So over 125, 127%. But let's look over the year to date. Look at the difference there, 165%. And so if May this year is a little less than 165%, there is a downward trend. I think people are getting used to the interest rates being high. It's not, you can't hold out anymore. We're never going to see 2-3% interest rate again in the market. You just got to bite the bullet and buy something, is I think is what we're seeing. So that compares to the days on the market in 2016. Here we are in 2023. You can see at the top of the screen there, 2022, we're at 33. 21, we are 23 days on the market. So we're seeing that trend up. Who knows what's going to happen next? But if, we get back to 2020 or 2012 and we see 127 days on the market, that's an indicator that something is coming one way or the other. So we keep a good eye on that. Go ahead and Jess, tell us about this deal here.
So this one is probably really poignant with people like, well, what's my true price on my house? And we talk about how we can look at the whole market, but you want to know what your house and your bracket is worth. So again, when you're looking at taxes, you want to call us and we're going to give you comparables for your comparable home rather than the whole market as a whole. Well, if we take a look, and we just every month we track the basic midline home in Southeast Idaho, which is 2,400 to 3,000 square feet, has a 2 or 3 car garage, is on a 1/4 of an acre to a 1/2 an acre, and has at least 2 bathrooms. That's the bulk of the homes sold is in that ballpark. So in May, those homes with those criteria were selling at $146 per square foot, and 17 of them sold. In 2022, those same homes were selling at $165 per square foot. So you can see a big change right inside there for those specific homes. Right now, those homes that we have pending, which means they're under contract, but we don't know what the final sale price is, which could be a little lower. Most of those pendings are on average at $148 per square foot, and there's 31 of them pending. So as those go to close, we might see that be a little closer to that $146 per square foot. But then let's take a look at what's sitting on the market not selling. So this is an indicator of saying, hey, if you're priced this way and you're not selling, this might give you a reason why. On average, they're at $153, and there's 17 of them sitting on the market. So if you're sitting on the market and you're not selling, you've got to look at those pendings and solds, because if you're trying to ask for a price per square foot far above what the actual closings are at, you're just priced too high. That means that we have a lot of homes that are averaging about $7.75 too high, which is $21,000 too high. So that gives you an idea of, are you priced correctly? This is the way you tell. So Chad, what's going on?
The cool thing though is that gap is narrowing. I mean, it used to be such a huge gap, and now
we were
we're
at
finally
like $19 at one point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, that's a good sign. I mean, the market is definitely stabilizing. People are, able to price it better, kind of get a feel for where things need to be to sell. So
yeah.
That's where the battle is, right? With the seller wants this, the buyer will pay this, and it's just got
to find the gap, or less than the gap.
The equilibrium.
So. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Chad, give us an idea of what is going on, kind of a snapshot of the market.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and snapshot, I mean, overall, really, and we hear, we just saw stats that days on market's up, prices are down. But I mean, really, the snapshot of our market in general is, even though with all of that, we're still a strong seller's market. And you know, we were in an out of control market a couple of years ago. Now we're in a strong seller's market. So we had 328 homes that came on the market. That's actually up over 13% from last month. And average list price is about $450,000. And average list price to sold is 99.6. So that's a strong indication that homes are getting what they're being listed for. We had 265 homes that went pending and 45 homes fell apart. So I don't know what that percentage is off the top of my head. What is, I mean,
Well, it's
we're
not
sitting
quite a
around
percentage because
17%.
that they could have fallen apart and gone pending in another month. But that actually is up from 27 homes that fell apart last month to 45.
Yeah,
So
it seems like that is. So, and we had 39 homes that withdrew. Their average days on market was 182. Average price per square foot 185, and original to final 97. I mean, I think the value of this slide for people is that the ones that are going off the market are the ones that are priced too high, and you're finding out that they're just not motivated to actually sell, you know, or at least to drop the price where it needs to go to get it sold. So if we look at our current inventory, we got a few slides on that. We currently have on the market total 505 homes. Last month we had 407. Well, it's springtime, so we're really glad we saw an increase because we were expecting that. It's up 24%. Average days on market 61. Combined days on market 85. And the original list to current is 84%. So people are getting more realistic. And average price is 196 per foot. So
Chad, will you explain days on market versus combined days on market?
So days on market is I mean, basically that's your days on market with all your price drops and everything included in there. Correct?
Yeah. And combined days on market is it may have gone off and gone pending and come back on. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
rather that's than everything total, everything combined. Yep. So yep. Months of inventory, absorption rate 2.4 months. That number is a significant number for us in the industry because that helps us determine, are we in a seller's market or a buyer's market? And 2.4 months tells us that we are in a strong seller's market overall in our market. As far as a look at our inventory, we are.
Those numbers look a little better, the totals there.
Those are cool. Yeah. Those are solid numbers. We're gonna go, those are solid.
Those are some solid numbers, yeah. So if you look here, here's what's most interesting to me. In most of the homes that are selling are between, you know, 500 and 500 or under. And you see the days on market is pretty much all below 60 days. So that's below our average days on market. But if you look at the homes that are 500,000 and above, those are all above that line. And so when you average it all out, because we have more homes on the market under 500,000, we are in a strong seller's market. But if you're above $800,000, you know, you probably are not in a seller's market. You're in a buyer's market. So it's a tougher market to sell in that range right now. So new listings over time. This is a fun step for us to be able to kind of look over and kind of see how we compare with other months. I mean, if you look at May of 2021, we had more listings go in 2023 than we did in 2021. And so, you know, overall, I think we're obviously down, but we're seeing if we can keep that up. And guys, why are we down? Why is the market down on listings and overall activity? I mean, what's the number one factor there?
Well, I don't want to sell my house when I'm at 3% to go to 7 or 6.
Exactly. Interest rates. That's the Fed's tool to you know, manipulate the economy. So all right, as far as current pendings go, we have 311 homes that are currently pending. Average price on those is $440,000 and original price to current 98%. I think a key point here is if you price your home correctly the first time, odds are you're going to be the one that sells. I mean, you just need to be aggressive and you need to know where that market is.
So and Chad, if you think back to that other slide, that slide, the houses that came on the market that sold within the same month, they were at 99% of their original list sell. And then and the others were 95, right? The average sold. So the ones that sell in their first month, they get the most money if they price right.
And that's been proven for no matter what market you're in. to net the most amount of money, you need to price it right from the beginning. You're never gonna, well, I can't say never. Rarely are you going to be better off by pricing it high and trying to get your way down there. So. All right. Well, next is a snapshot of Idaho Falls. Jeremy, you want to finish this out and
You
tell us
bet.
about Idaho Falls?
All right, so just in this kind of the vicinity of the city of Idaho Falls, 5 big high schools. If we look at the sold homes in May, there was 141, which is a 19% increase. Lower days on market, a little bit lower or higher list to sold price. Homes on the market right now, 285, 84 days average and 97.8%. So 2 months of inventory. If nothing else hits the market, what's currently available will be gone in 60 days. And we're looking for 6 months to be balanced. So like Chad's saying, it's a seller's time right now as well. So that is all we got to talk about. Appreciate
That's right.
you
That's
guys.
the stats.
Call us with any questions about your assessment. You got a week. Don't let that slip, because you miss it for a year.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to wait a whole year. Which,
And if this has been helpful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and to our pages and watch for that. And if you go to mmcidaho.com, you can click the link at the top and subscribe to our newsletter and get these with the slides in your email every month.
That's right.
Call us so we can help you buy or sell a home.
All righty.
See you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Yep.
Have a
see
great
ya.
summer.